my partner, Chris McLaughlin.
Thank you, John. Brian, everybody's talking about tonight being the Tara versus T match, but we all know there's a lot of other great players out there. Tell us about it.
Well, I think Dave and myself agree that this is, it's nice to watch those two players, but either one of them is not going to make the match. It's going to have to come from somewhere else. Our key, our staff feels, is Sherry Sanders. Sherry has to run the show tonight for us. She has to play well. Antoinette White has to come through, but for us, we run as quick an offense as we can, and everybody has to contribute.
I know Dave is worried about that quick transition game of yours, and Sherry Sanders is quite a player to watch. You've lost 15 straight times to this team. We wish you the best of luck tonight, and maybe tonight will be the night that you break that streak. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Dave, big match tonight. I know you've been looking forward to this all year long. Long Beach State was picked #1 by all the coaches in the league. They're also picked #1 by Volleyball Monthly. How important is tonight's match for you?
Well, the importance of the match is it sets up the regional seeding. It sets up the league. We need to win the match, at least one of these two matches, for us to have a chance to get a good seed in the regional, thus giving us a chance to get back here for the Final Four.
And everybody thinks about T having a great match. We always know T's going to come out and play well, but are there a couple of players that you kind of really down deep are hoping will give you a big match tonight?
Well, all our players need to have big matches. We can't rely on T, and T and Tara will have good matches anyway, no matter what happens tonight. The other players are the ones that are going to be questionable, and if our other role players can play better than their role players, then we'll win. If they don't, we'll lose.
Well, I look forward to a great match. This place will be jamming and pumping tonight, and I wish you the best of luck, Dave.
Thank you, Chris.
Back to you, John.
Some thoughts from the two coaches on tonight's match. We'll be back to set things up here at Clum Gym right after this.
The ice caverns, where a beer was kept pure in the cold. A beer so rare, so smooth, the kegs had to be guarded by lions.
Hawaii leads the all-time series between these two clubs 15-0, and here to introduce the two clubs that'll start tonight's matchup, Henry Yamamoto.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clum Gym for tonight's match featuring the 49ers of Long Beach State and the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahines. First, introducing the starting lineup for Long Beach State. A 5'11" senior from Los Angeles, California, number 3, Cheryl Stevens. A 5'2" senior from Riverside, California, number 5, Sherry Sanders. A 5'9" sophomore from Linwood, California, number 7, Antoinette White. A 6'3" junior from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 15, Vicky Pullins. A 6-foot senior from Cerritos, California, number 6, Tresonia Thompson. A 5'11" senior from Irvine, California, number 14, Tara Cross. Assistant coaches, Debbie Green Vargas and Carrie Campbell. Head coach, Brian Gimilaro. And now, introducing the starting lineups for the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahines. A 5'8" sophomore from Kekaha, Kauai, number 2, Miley Golden. A 6-foot junior from Manhattan Beach, California, number 5, Carrie Trishma. A 6'1" sophomore from Poway, California, number 8, Sherry Boyer. A 6'1" sophomore from Vallentuna, Sweden, number 9, Malin Fransson. A 6-foot junior from Waimanalo, Hawaii, number 10, Mary Robin. A 5'11" senior from Long Beach, California, team captain, number 1, T. William Sanders. Trainer Melody Toth, graduate assistants Annie Nist and Howard Wallace. Associate head coach Dean Nowak, and the head coach Dave Shoji.
We'll be back with the first serve of tonight's great match right after this.
everywhere you look these days.
The team comparisons as we get ready to start tonight, Chris, these teams are pretty even heading into tonight's match.
They really are. Only two real significant statistics there, the digs and the service aces. Otherwise, these two teams are very even.
Hawaii 10-0, number 1 in the country. Long Beach State 9-0, number 4. Hawaii serving the first match and 4 hits is called against Long Beach, and this Plum Gym crowd is into it already.
John Zabriskie from Pepperdine University, former All-American there, made that call of 4 hits on Long Beach, and Long Beach has one of the fastest offenses in the country. Dean Nowak says it is the fastest, as a matter of fact. It wasn't fast enough that time, but here comes you-know-who, Tara Cross out of nowhere.
One of the big things to keep in mind tonight is going to be the T factor. Tara Cross against T. Williams for Hawaii. Tara Cross leading her team in every category, and possibly this weekend will break the all-time NCAA record for kills. She'd have to have a heck of a weekend to do it, though, Chris. She needs 50.
T. Williams Sanders answers as Tara Cross gets the first kill for her team. T. Williams picks up the same for hers. This match is developing just as we had predicted.
Not only are they similar in styles, they're both NCAA Players of the Year. Cross last year in T in '87, and they roomed on the road this summer when they went over to Japan with the national team.
Smiley Golden with a beautiful dig that time of Tara Cross's shot.
Bronson from the back sends it over. Chance now for Long Beach. Set up front and over. Miley Golden thought somebody was there, and nobody was there. And a good side out that time. Cheryl Stevens gets it back for Long Beach State.
Miley Golden right there from Kauai had one great dig that time, and the second time she had a chance to dig the ball, she was in the wrong spot.
Ball hit way up. Tough play for Mary Robbins. Chance for Long. A good dive that time by Sanders. Blocked up front the roof by T. and Boyer.
Here is one of the keys to the match right there, how T. Williams can stop Antoinette White. Antoinette White is their second strongest attacker besides Tara Cross, and that is not a good start for Antoinette White.
Ball set up front and stuffed right down. That time nicely played by Cheryl Stevens.
Cheryl Stevens' spot has been in jeopardy this year. She's working hard to hold that starting spot. She was the second leading kill leader last year, but this year Christine Romero, whom we may see later, has been battling her for a spot. T. Williams, hello.
We saw T do a few of those in practice, but nobody was trying to block her, Chris. Now they are trying to block her, and she still puts it through this old clum floor.
Right now we have Jamie Long coming into the game, and what a fantastic road trip she had. Dave Shoji came back with a grin from ear to ear. 22 kills against San Diego State. Let's see what she can do against Long Beach State.
Really picked up the slack when Hawaii got in trouble against San Diego State. Of course, Hawaii won that match in 5 the first time out. Beat them in 3 on Tuesday night. Ball tipped over but out by Malin Franzen. Little high set that time from Boyer. Franzen couldn't play it on the court.
Franzen's been hitting more on the outside lately, and she was hitting out of the middle there. I think her timing may be off a little bit until she gets the feeling of what it's like to be back in the middle again.
She got it that time as she puts that one down next side of the diving effort. Diving for the ball that time was Cheryl Stevens. She can't make the play, and she's wiping up the floor. She's probably not used to having help like we have here at Plum.
That's right. Mullen told me earlier she loves to hit outside. And Jim Malero, I think, is probably happy she's hitting in the middle tonight because she's much more effective on the outside. But Jamie Long has been playing so well. Jamie has moved to the outside position, and Mullen is back in the middle.
A lot at stake tonight. The winner, of course, remains undefeated, takes over the lead in the Big West standings, and possibly moves one step closer to a higher seed in the all-important regional, which will be coming up in December. And of course, as we mentioned at the start of the show, Long Beach has never beaten Hawaii. It's 15-0 in favor of the Rainbow Wahines. And if you're looking for a little bit of history, Chris, 2 years ago, Hawaii had 4 seniors and won a national title. Last year, Texas started 4 seniors and won a national title. And lo and behold, Long Beach State starting 4 seniors this season. Stuff up front that time by the big block. Tara Cross up front.
That was this block right here is reminiscent of the Russian block that was here 2 weeks ago. Tara Cross is forcing that ball back into the court, welcoming Malin Franzen to the Big West.
Back and forth we go. It's 1-1, game 1. Jamie Long on the outside. It's off the block, but it's good.
This is one of Hawaii's strategies right here, is to set the ball up high to the 6'3" Jamie Long and have her go over, or at least through, the 5'2" Sherry Sanders. The great little setter for Long Beach State, who was blocking Jamie that time. How about that for a mismatch? That's like Spud Webb against Wilt Chamberlain.
Up front, Tara Cross sees the opening. There's a pancake by T, though. Oh, so nice. Back row net violation against Long Beach State. They acknowledge it, and Hawaii takes the point 2-1. Great defense by T.
I don't even think T believes she made that great a play. There's the tip shot. T sticks her hand out, and there's a little pancake right there. Slides her palm right under the ball and gets the pancake dig. After that play, she was all smiles, because I'm not sure she's ever done that before, quite like that.
Biggest crowd Long Beach State has ever seen at home is about 1,300, Chris. They were here last year and lost in 4 to Pacific in the regionals. I think they're going to have to get used to this crowd roaring in their ears for 2 nights now. That ace serve will help quiet things down. It's 2-2 as the serve by Trisonia Thompson, senior from Cerritos, California, finds its way into the back.
And she adds another ace to her league-leading aces per game stat.
A lot of players moving around, a lot of different locations for Long Beach. It lands out. Tara Cross hits it long. Miley Golden will check back in for Jamie Long. 2-2, game number 1. Golden, sophomore from Cape Cod. Checking over to his tee. Where do you want me to serve it, coaches? Sanders up front, across, and she puts it down. Sanders has that famous Benito Santiago catcher's routine. She goes down on her knees when she makes the sets. That'll wear and tear on your knees after a while.
She is quite a setter, and she's serving right now. She led the nation last year in assists per game.
That time T partially blocked by Stevens, but it goes out and it's side out to Hawaii at 2-2.
Interesting that Hawaii is speeding up their offense as well. They've been going high and wide to T up until this match, as far as I've seen anyway, and now they've quickened up their sets a little bit, trying to keep up with this quick Long Beach State team.
Outside to T again, she goes cross court. 2 blockers are there. Mullen Franzen with a nice set, and T puts it down. Mullen Franzen, Chris, a real pretty lofted set that time.
Mullen Franzen really has added a whole new dimension to this team. She puts up a beautiful set there. T goes up high and over that big Long Beach State block. A couple of 6-footers in that block, and T just went right over them.
She had plenty of time to choose her spot. She had gone cross court twice, and that time she went down the line and it worked. Hawaii 3-2. Carrie Trishman back to serve. Ball put down that time. Cheryl Stevens puts it down, but it goes outside. Hawaii pulling ahead 4-2. That time she with a stuff, but kept alive. Good defensive effort by the 49ers.
Great
Robbins.
teams will score in transition. Let's see if Hawaii can do it.
They do. They use T up front. New hairdo for T tonight. She smiled at us. We acknowledged it. 5-2. I told her to be careful not to let those corn crows hit her in the face. She'll knock herself out.
She's got them tied back now, though, and she'll be just fine. She won't let anything get in the way of not playing her best. She is a premier athlete, and we are lucky to be able to watch her play.
Put down, but a great dig, and 2 Rainbows diving after it. Good effort there. Trishman and Boyer, both of them diving. Neither one held back, but it'll be side out to Long Beach State.
The fans there showing their appreciation as 2 bows collide in going after the ball. Tara Cross stepping back to serve now. A 1988 NC2A Player of the Year last year. We've got 2 Players of the Year in the same gym. That's quite a treat right in and of itself.
That's very rare to have them both still eligible. T, 1987 Player of the Year. 5-2 Hawaii.
Remember, Hawaii is ranked #1 in the nation now. Long Beach State was picked by Volleyball Monthly, the Bible of the volleyball world, to be the national champion at the end of this year. Of course, remember last year they picked Illinois too, so. But Long Beach State now ranked #4 despite being undefeated. They really haven't been tested yet. The only 2 teams that these guys have played in common are Colorado State and the Soviets, and both had similar scores. So we have 2 very evenly matched teams. Sherry Boyer that time called for a lift as she held on to the ball. It was passed too close to the net.
Point for Long Beach State. It's 3-5. Keep in mind, both of these teams arrived in Hawaii yesterday, so maybe somewhat dissipating the home court advantage for Hawaii. Just back from a week in California, just getting used to the time zone adjustment. So not like the ladies have been home and just waiting for this match. They had 4 road matches, Chris. We'll see if it takes its toll if we go to a 5th game tonight.
Colin Franson back out where she feels much more comfortable.
Tee off the block, and it's back over to Hawaii. Heavily taped legs of number 6, Sonia Thompson. A lot of wiping up of the floor tonight. This place is boiling. Kind of a surprise here in Clum Gym. They added the high-tech fans. I think these fans are from 1953, and they've got them aimed up toward the crowd. They do nothing except for about 6 people, so it's about 132 in the gym as usual. The Clum weight program. Good diving dig by Trishman, put back off Mary Robbins and kept alive. Jamie Long and Trishman get it over. Confusion on the Long Beach side. Players all over the floor. Boyer goes back set. Franson, good dig by Sanders.
And a whiff. Thompson whiffs and says, I know, I missed it.
And this crowd lets her know she missed it too. 6-3 Hawaii.
Well, the crowd is clapping right now, but that was one of the sloppiest rallies we've had all year. Neither team wanted to win that rally. Very poor passing, very poor ball handling. Hawaii got very lucky that time.
Had players on the floor like shrapnel on that when they were all over the place. And that time on the tip, Antoinette White gets the side out for Long Beach.
The ball looked like it wasn't touched at all, but was in fact hit by a blocker as Antoinette White aimed high off the hands and got the side out for Long Beach.
Ace serve that time, little floater. Cheryl Stevens just plops it in there.
Smart serve this time to serve short where Hawaii has no passers right there. Confusion on Hawaii's passing formation. That time Franson does pass the short ball.
Block up front, Jamie Long just pops it over and gets the side out. Little roof action by Jamie Long, and she dumps it back over.
If there were to be a comeback player of the year, Jamie Long would get it. Watch this quick reaction here. She has to pop right back up again and tip it down. That takes quick reactions. 2 years ago, she probably couldn't have done that. She's really improved.
6-4 Hawaii. We're only in game number 1. It's going to be a long night at Clum. Outside, Jamie Long, off the block and through it. Jamie took a little bit something off that one, Chris. Threw off the timing of the blocker. She doesn't just crank it every time. She backed off and made a smart play.
You're right. Brian Gimolero is trying to get his young ladies on the Long Beach State side of the net. Calm down. He thinks they're getting wrapped up in the emotion of this Clum crowd a little bit here.
7-4, ball never went over the net, so it's 4 hits on the 49ers side. Sonia Thompson making some unforced errors. Hawaii at 8-4. We'll see when Brian Gimolero calls his first timeout.
I guarantee you if they lose a point here, he will call timeout.
The McLaughlin guarantee. We'll see what happens. Tara Cross, Mary Robbins, easy dig in the back. Franson off the block. Sanders tries to dump it, but T is there. Not a good shot. Kept alive by Trishman. T just plops it over. Here's Sanders, goes across court. Off the block, and it's that time of stuff. Antoinette White is roofed on that one. It's 9-4, and Brian Gimolero calls his first timeout. Hawaii moving away, 9-4. Tara Cross relatively even, as we suggested. Good hitting percentages, lots of kills and kills per game and blocks. They're just great all-around players, but so far tonight, T. Williams has a .777 hitting percentage, while Tara Cross is at a measly 125 in game number 1. And Chris, Long Beach State's going nowhere tonight unless Tara Cross can pick it up a little bit.
It's a sure thing that Tara Cross will pick it up. She will not hit 125 for the night. She is just too great an athlete. Future national team player, future Olympian. She'll be back.
There's Cross, and that time it's blocked, but it lands out. So a point to Long Beach. That's what you want to do. They come back from the timeout, get the side out, and get a point. It's 5-9. Ball coming right down the line. What a long serve that was. And Franson, Hawaii, a little bit off on that whole point. As Antoinette White way down the line trying to serve that one. Dave Shoji calls his first timeout at 6-9. Long Beach is coming back. Won 30 games and lost 3. Long Beach State has won 27 games and lost only 1. And that was a loss to Pepperdine when they were ahead 2-0. They lost a game 16-14 and then went on to win that match. So these two teams have not lost a match, and they certainly haven't lost many games. 6-9, Long Beach serving. Jamie Long trying to get it back for Hawaii. There's Long Beach on the block. The short set. All set outside. Stuffed down, Tara Cross. Lands out.
What happened with Tara Cross that time? Hit the ball outside the antenna. and therefore Hawaii gets a side out. Tara coming up with more of her share of errors tonight, although the setting has not been that good for her. Sherry Sanders a little bit tentative now. Unusual for her, the assist leader in the nation last year, to be this tentative, but right now she is not precise in the location of her sets, and it's giving her hitters some problems.
10-6 Hawaii. That one off the block that time, side out. Tara Cross gets it back for the 49ers, and checking into the game, the big force in the middle, Vicky Pullins.
This time we see a great approach by Tara Cross as she uses her arms to get way up in the air and get that great vertical jump that she has, probably around 30 inches. Sherry Sanders, little setter, has the biggest jump on the team at 36 inches. How about that?
Sonia
Spud
Thompson.
web.
Sonia Thompson serving off the block by Cross, side out to Hawaii. Dave Shoji's going to keep Jamie Long in there. She's already been subbed once or twice, I guess.
Normally he brings Miley Golden in, but Jamie's got a very good serve. He tried this against the Soviets, and Jamie served into the net, and she did again that time. That's the chance you take when you leave a front row specialist in the back row. They aren't used to serving, they are in the flow and rhythm. But again, you can only enter the game 3 times. Miley's already entered twice. I think they're going to save Miley for the end of the game.
Ball set up front by Boyer, outside to T, and T goes right down the line, and Sherry Sanders, like a hockey goalie, through her legs, a shot to score.
Well, that was dangerous. T goes up and over this block and down right at Sherry Sanders. Hard to see there, but that came up and almost hit her in the face.
Terry Fishman with the deep serve. Here's Sanders up front. She goes back setting, Cross puts it down.
Well, there the two roommates had a little battle there, and remember in Japan this summer they were roommates for 3 weeks. Tara Cross and T. Williams. Sanders.
Up front, Sherry Boyer back set to T. T tips the top of the net, lands inside the line. Side out to Hawaii at 11-6, and back to serve for Hawaii will be Sherry Boyer. Boyer serves down the line. Ball goes over. Mary Robbins dinks it. And a good diving effort by Long Beach. They can't get it. It's 12-6. Hawaii pulling away again.
If Long Beach has an Achilles heel, it's their ball handling, John, and that time they did have trouble passing that last serve.
Brian Gimolero calls his second and final timeout of the first game. Hawaii has doubled up Long Beach 12-6.
When I was in college,
Game tonight, I want to remind everyone at the conclusion of tonight's match, Chris and I are going to be selecting the GTE Hawaii Intel Most Valuable Rainbow. University of Hawaii's General Scholarship Fund will receive a cash award in the name of that player from Hawaii Intel. Well, Tara Cross still hitting for a meager 182 hitting percentage, and T. William hitting for 818. And the story of the game right now, Hawaii leading 11-6. It's going to take Tara and a few teammates to come through to bring the 49ers back into game number 1. That time off the block, Sherry Boyer not hitting it solidly. Stuck her arm out, Chris, and we've seen her do that a lot where she'll get it up. That time she was not able to.
Well, Antoinette White has been a very effective hitter for the Long Beach State team, and she's another USC transfer. She and Sonia Thompson transferring from USC to play for Brian Gimolero.
Off the block, there's T, though. Sherry Boyer goes right back to Franzen, and Franzen this time goes cross court. Sanders with the set. Pullins through Trishman and Long. Little miscommunication there.
Again, there's one of the chances you take when you get a front row, back row specialist. We see this shot go right between Jamie Long and Trishman, and normally Miley Golden is around there somewhere playing for Jamie Long.
Dave Shoji just pulled Terry Trishman up. He said get up. He wants her in front of Long, so that doesn't happen again. This time Franzen goes off the blockers. She went at the blockers. She tried to go cross court, and then this time she went off them and outside. So side out to Hawaii. Checking into the game for the first time, Monrovia, California.
She almost went to Texas, by the way, and she is one great player.
She was a possible starter tonight, Chris mentioned earlier.
For Cheryl Stevens, but right now she's been playing for Vicky Pullins in the back row, but watch for her.
Cheryl Stevens hitting the bottom of the net. That one had no chance of going over.
Interesting story behind Cheryl Stevens. 4-time national judo champion. How about that for an athlete?
Don't get her mad. Hawaii leading 11-7. Tipped off the top. Boyer with the dive. Trishman with a dive. And T puts it in the back. Romero up front, outside. Off the block that time. White gets it back.
Antoinette White starting to warm up now. Remember, between Antoinette White, number 7 right there, and Tara Cross, they get almost 60% of the sets for this Long Beach State 49er team. So she is a big factor in their attack.
Hard to see her there. She's hiding out in the back of the gym. She just launches that one. T has a real problem with it, and Mary Robbins can't get it. I think Mary thought it might hit the American flag. That thing was so high up there.
Mary actually stopped, gave up on it. Coach Nowak was not happy that she stopped. That was actually a savable ball.
8-11, creeping back. White serving from Kahuku. Outside, Franzen through the block. Malin Franzen getting a couple of big side outs for Hawaii.
Again, we see that Malin Franzen is much more comfortable on the outside. She got a beautiful back set from Sherry Boyer that time and just buried it down the line.
Malin Franzen also had a couple of big matches on the road trip for Hawaii. 4 Big West wins while on the road against San Diego State and Cal State Fullerton. Jamie Long is roof that time. Tara Cross up front. And Tresonia Thompson there too.
There we see Jamie Long getting an inside set with 3 blockers up. Nowhere to go that time for Jamie. Long Beach State gets a side out.
Debbie Steele comes into the game for Romero up front now. And there's a stuff up front by Steele. Good defense though. The Rainbows keep it alive. And it lands out. And Dave Shoji telling his players, move over. Let's move around out here.
They were in the wrong offensive alignment there. And apparently David told Sherry prior to this that should be their formation. And she didn't have her hitters in the right attacking position.
Another excellent serve by Long Beach, and it costs Hawaii. It's 10-11, and Dave Shoji calls it timeout. Long Beach has climbed all the way back into game number 1. To a mere 1, they led 11-6. Long Beach State serving now at 10-11. Both teams have used up their timeouts. We still have 1 sub. I think we'll see, Chris, if Jamie Long goes back row. I'm sure we'll see Miley Golden come back in. Dave Shoji was saving that for just in case this happened, and it has happened. Long Beach State has come all the way back. Step out move. That time Trishman, it lands, and nobody's home, and we are tied at 11.
What a comeback by Long Beach State. They were all but buried in this match. Hawaii had them, as you said, 11-6. Beautiful play that time out of a timeout. The step out move to Trishman, but Long Beach State just did a beautiful job of blocking it.
Hawaii having some real defensive problems, and that's very unusual for Hawaii. That time into the net, a big break for Hawaii. Steele.
What happened, Ralph Smith, the umpire, a Long Beach State graduate, by the way, former All-American at Long Beach State, told Brian Gimolero that number 4,
Debbie Steele's hair.
Debbie Steele, her ponytail netted.
Well, that's the value of the long hair, I guess. Laura Phillips comes in for Jamie Long. He makes this change with Phillips, and there is an ace serve. So how about that for a welcome to the game? Laura Phillips, happy-go-lucky, smiling with a famous ponytail ribbon of hers.
That's right. She played beautifully against the Soviets and in the Hawaiian Airlines Classic. Excellent servers. We see a look at how Hawaii is going to set up their defense here. We'll notice that Hawaii's blockers are all playing fairly close together. 1, 2, 3 blockers there up front. And they're going to try to stay inside in this very tough Long Beach State fast attack.
All stuffed up front. Hawaii makes it 13-11. Laura Phillips doing a good job as we show you that end zone shot. Making things tough for Long Beach State. It's 13-11.
Well, as a substitute, you'd love to come in and contribute, and she got Hawaii off 12 on that 13th point. Big point for Hawaii right there.
She goes the same place. This time Sanders sets it up. Tara Cross off the block, coming to McLaughlin. It's out of play. So McLaughlin couldn't handle that one. Chose to let it go.
There's the All-American Tara Cross right here, doing what she does so well, hitting that cross-court angle off Mary Robbins' arm. Mary should have been inside the block just a little more there.
Tough set that time. T goes way back and played in the back. Side out to Hawaii.
Another net violation that time as T launched one over the net with that two-handed set. Number 4 again, Debbie Steele, was into the net.
T did not hit that with much authority, but a couple of mistakes. That time off the block, side out to Long Beach State.
One of the things that makes Tara Cross an All-American so good, and why the national team coaches like her so much, is that she's versatile. She's hit about 5 or 6 different types of shots tonight. She's very tough to defend against, very tough to block.
Talk about tough to block. T. Williams puts it down. Chris, just to give you an idea, so far in their 9 matches, Long Beach State is hitting at a 360 clip. That's the best in the country. And Hawaii's best clip ever for a season was 302. Now again, that's like a batting average. So Long Beach State has just had a phenomenal season killing the ball, but against Hawaii, it's a different story so far tonight. 13-11, White is blocked. Good dig by Trishman on her knees. Boyer pops it over. Outside, here's White again. She just pops it over, and this time no one's home. Good vision by Antoinette White.
Hawaii is forcing, Dave showed you right there as you see him squinching up, they're forcing Long Beach State into tipping the ball a lot, and those tips, those slow off-speed shots should be diggable by the Hawaii defense. Right now, Hawaii's playing for the short tip, and the back middle right there did not rotate down the line as they should have.
So into the game now, Sherry Thormalen. Mary Robbins tips it. Tough play by Sanders, keeping it alive. Phillips. Fans thought it was a double hit. That time, Franson off the pole, side out to Hawaii.
Malin Franson using the shot she used against the Soviets oh so well, hitting down the line. She used the line blocker here, goes up after, hits the block into the antenna right there, giving Malin Franson yet another kill.
Jamie Long back in now for Laura Phillips. She'll be in the rest of the game, which Hawaii hopes lasts only for 2 more serves. There's one popped over the top again. Trishman can't get there. Long Beach, Chris, with an effective in-out game. They come in hard, they go out with a little dinks.
One of the things they do so well, look at this beautiful extension on the back set there. Little step out move. The blockers are split. Mary Robbins late getting out there. Jamie Long late getting to the outside, and Carrie Trishman late getting up to get that tip. Long Beach State, that's the reason why they have such a fast offense.
Short set that time in the middle. That time Franson, a rare miss. It's 12-13. This game's going down to the wire. Plum Gym crowd rising to the occasion. Up front, Jamie Long right through the block. Good set that time by Boyer. Close to the net, and Jamie Long power thrust.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Sherry Boyer use more of her dump shot tonight. She has not used it yet. Maybe she's saving it for the right time, but against the Soviets, she was so effective. While you were on the mainland, we did miss you, John, and Alan Rosehill and I had a fun time doing it anyway, despite your absence. But Sherry Boyer was phenomenal against the Soviets using that dump shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see her pull it out here pretty soon.
Big step out move that time, getting it back. Tresonia Thompson, a little sprint across the court.
Long Beach State is blessed with quick, fast athletes, and here's one of them right there, getting off the moving blocker and getting the kill.
And outside now, Antoinette White with that long serve. That baby loses some tiles as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, but it still doesn't go over the net. And it's side out, and Malin Franson. Boy, not a good time to miss a serve, Chris.
One of Hawaii's best servers right here, though. Malin Franson serving down the line and out. Just missed.
As I said, not a good time to miss a serve. Put it on the court. Hawaii needs 2 to win. Long Beach hoping to pick up 3 and pull away. Tresonia Thompson back to serve. Debbie Steele with a long ponytail back in the game.
Excellent pass by Mary Robbins that time.
Jamie Long picks a hole and nobody's home. She just dinks that one over. 13-12, Hawaii get the side out.
Jamie Long picking the right time to go to the tip shot, and she goes toward the off blocker there. The off blocker was playing for the dig that time and not for the dink. Jamie Long now gets a chance to show us her top spin serve a la Diva Tomkis of UCLA.
We've seen this as very effective. We'll see how she does this time. She puts it down nicely. Sherry Sanders outside set. Tara Cross stuffed up front, but a great defensive play. Sanders keeps it alive. Outside, here's T. T off the block. Good dig, but there's no one home. Sanders dives into the crowd. And Jim Alero says, get over here and help her. Oh, Sherry Sanders was into the crowd on that one, Chris.
Sherry Sanders on this play as T hits the ball into the block. Sanders goes way out, extends, goes under the table right there. Almost takes out a few sportscasters while she's at it.
14-12, and for the last time, Miley Golden comes back in for Jamie Long. Miley Golden serving. And a side out for Long Beach.
So Sherry Sanders, the 5'2" setter who led the nation last year in assists per game, goes back to serve and tries to bring Long Beach back into this game at 12, serving 14. She jumps 36 inches off the ground. She is a great player.
Hawaii is checking. Ralph Smith says Hawaii's used 12 subs. Dave Shoji says no way, and they check, and Dave's right. There you see Sherry Sanders led the NCAA in assists per game last year. Great with the sets. Right ahead of Martina Sincerova for Hawaii, and Hawaii getting it back. There's your first dump, Mr. McLaughlin.
And boy, did she pick the right time to do it. At 12, serving 14. Here we see a beautiful shot of Sherry just finding the hole in the block. Tara Cross caught a little bit of sleep that time as Hawaii serves for game number 1.
And the back, Sanders up front. They go outside, off the block. Chance for Hawaii. Mary Robbins up front, but getting it back is Steele. Cheryl Stevens, give her credit for a big smash that time. Tough defensive play for the Rainbow Wahines.
Debbie Steele making up a little bit for those 2 nets she had earlier. The 6'1" sophomore from Washington. Excellent blocker.
Boyer outside to T. T can't do much with it. Goes cross court. Chance now for Long Beach to narrow it to 1. Good dig by Trishman. Up front to T, and she goes cross court off the block. Antoinette White got a piece of that one, but not enough to keep it in play, and Hawaii serving for the game.
Even with our headsets on, I can hear the crowd yelling T as T vaults herself up into the atmosphere and goes up for that spike. Beautiful cross-court hit that time. Hawaii again, game point.
13 kills in the first game for T. That's not a bad night. That ball lands out. Tipped out that time by Long Beach Steel. Tips it out. Hawaii escapes with game 1, 15-12. Winning the first game 15-12. Long Beach State coming back into it, but Hawaii pulling away. After the game, Brian Gimolero not pleased. He thought that ball might have been tipped by Hawaii. Thought Long Beach should have been kept alive in that game, Chris. Couldn't tell from our vantage point whether it was tipped or not, but tough one for Long Beach to lose, but they did come back.
We have 4 very capable officials tonight. 2 linesmen, Guy Owato and Ross Ozaki. John Zabriskie up top and Ralph Smith down below. None of those 6 or the 2,000 others that are in this gym saw a touch, so I think that Brian might have been in error.
Yeah, well, they better not ask the 2,000 others because they're not going to get too many calls their way. Game number 2, a pivotal game for Long Beach. They came all the way back that game only to lose 15-12. Remember, this is a team that's lost 15 matches to Hawaii. Last year they lost 3-1 and 3-0 at Long Beach State. And Long Beach State's last regular loss, of course the loss to the Russians in an exhibition, was right here at Plum Gym. They ended their season at Plum Gym last season, losing to Pacific. And the first game stats, both teams equal in attempts, but look at those hitting percentages.
Hawaii hitting 438 to Long Beach's 208. Long Beach normally hits around 360, well below their average. Watch for them to come back to this game. They've got a new player in the lineup, too, number 13, Christine Romero, a highly recruited freshman who's taking Cheryl Stevens' spot this game.
In the meantime, Hawaii gets the side out and the first point of game number 2. Carrie Trishman serving. You see Sherry Boyer's back.
Remember, Hawaii really wants to at least split with Long Beach at the very worst, and if they won 2, it would be wonderful as far as Dave Shoji, Dean Nowak, and the Wahines were concerned, because a lot is riding on regional seedings.
If Hawaii can beat Long Beach and then do well against Pacific, they can let those 2 teams fight it out for 2nd and 3rd place in the division. And of course, it makes a big difference who you play in the regionals, which will probably be at Long Beach or Pacific. Final 4, of course, here in Hawaii. Ball set outside. Here's Romero. Up front. T outside. Just blasted through the block.
John T is simply on fire. It's as if she's back on the national team. She's moved her game to another level. She had 13 kills in game 1. She picks up her 14th kill right there. Actually, that's her 15th kill, I believe, of the night. She averages 5.5 a game. She got 13 in game 1. That's almost 3 times her average.
It's a good night in the first game. But again, when it comes to the major competition, T raises the level of her game. Did not have a lot of great matches on the mainland. But the beauty of the Wahines so far this season, somebody's always come along to pick them up. Jamie Long, Carrie Trishman, and Malin Franzen helping out in a big way in the wins on the mainland.
And that time, Vicki Pullins stopping the bleeding. The 6'3" junior from Valley High School in Las Vegas picked up the kill. She's hitting 380 for the year, but I doubt if she's hitting 380 for this match. All the Long Beach State hitters are having a little bit of trouble right now.
0 serving 3. T just has to pop it over. Tara Cross up front. Sanders sets it up in the middle. White side out to Hawaii. Everybody kind of stood around, Chris, and watched that. We're used to seeing Antoinette White put them away, but not against a good Hawaii defensive squad.
Antoinette White has had a ton of kills this year. She and Tara have been a two-person wrecking crew, and she's having her trouble tonight against this Hawaii block.
Time tough set, and White, that goes cross court. Good dig by Trishman. Carrie Trishman, a good solid defensive player. T outside, goes long.
She took the blame for that one. She really did not back up fast enough to get that second set. She did not sprint back to get a good run in on the ball, and consequently launched it long.
Took a little something off it after drilling one at the players in front of her. Didn't work though, so it went long. This time she goes off the players. Good defense that time by Antoinette White. And a good head by Miley Golden as she lets it go. Good quick thinking. Boy, that's tough to think in a split second, in or out, in or out. Miley Golden says out, and it was out.
It's called having great court sense, and she does. And in for her comes Jamie Long.
Cheryl Stevens checking into the match for Vicki Pullins. Pullins, the big middle blocker, leads the team in solo blocks and assists. She is the big blocking force in the middle, along with Thompson and Cross. Long Beach State's thus far this season, heading into this match, way ahead of their opposition in blocks. But again, they have not faced anybody the caliber of the Rainbow Wahines. Malin Franzen puts it down. Hawaii refusing to let the 49ers get on the board.
Gutsy set that time from Sherry Boyer to Malin Franzen. Again, Franzen not as happy to play in the middle as she is on the outside, but she certainly makes the best of every situation as she did there.
Outside White with a left-handed shot blocked. Kept alive. Sanders over the top. Boyer with the back set to Franzen, off the net, off the blocker, and it lands in. And Gimolero not pleased with what he's seeing. Talks to his setter, Sherry Sanders. 4-0.
This is the old Mo in action right now. Hawaii got the momentum at the end of game one, and they're just carrying it right into game two here, going up 4-zip.
Mary Robbins punches that serve over. White off the block by Boyer, side out.
And this is a big-time outside hit right here. She goes up, great vertical jump, probably around a 30-inch vertical jump there, and hits the ball right down the line to a befuddled Boyer.
Antoinette White serving it from way back. Hawaii just barely getting it over, but a chance now. Sanders, short set that time, step out move. Thompson puts it down. 1-4. Say one thing, Chris, by serving that far back in the court, she's got to hustle to get back into the play. I mean, she really is in another zip code out there. The fans have to watch out not to trip her. Not, of course, that they would, but
she does have to hustle back in. The other two players in the back row cover for her while she runs up to play defense.
There she comes up, and Jamie Long puts it right down where White should be, and it goes off the block and side out for Hawaii. And Gimolero says, who touched it?
Sherry Sanders touched it that time, but in volleyball, Brian's asking who touched it, but the referees are only designated to say who touched, who made net violations. And so they will tell the coaches what number player netted. They will rarely let the coaches know which player touched the ball on a play like that.
And yet, of course, the coach is allowed to ask. Time to step out, move again, and there's Boyer with a dump, what they call a lift.
Brian Gimolero's arguing. Brian Gimolero right there is arguing because he thought that Sherry Sanders was called for the throw. And now, actually what happened was Sherry Boyer was called for the throw. Ralph Smith went over and said something to Gimolero. Gimolero said something back, and meantime Zabriskie noticed the exchange between the two coaches and gave Gimolero a yellow card. If he gets one more of those, it'll be a point or a side out for Hawaii.
Gimolero misunderstood. He thought it was Hawaii's ball until Stevens, who was coming out, said, Coach, sit down, it's our ball. It's okay, we got that one. Gimolero not pleased at what he's seen so far, and I'll tell you, as a team, you don't want to have to worry about your coach and calming your coach down. You got better things to do. Stevens comes back out, and Romero comes back in. Ball lands out, but it's tipped. It was tipped.
Sherry Sanders raised her hand in a very sportsmanlike manner and said, yes, I'm the one that touched it. Linesman Guy Owato making the correct call.
Jamie Long just pummeling a serve. That is the split finger. The fastball that dips down. We've seen that a bunch of times from her. If it goes over, it's very effective.
In volleyball, they call it the heavy standing topspin serve.
Oh, come on. And here come the Bozos. The crowd is cheering the appearance of the Bozos. Some of the men's volleyball players, I believe that's what they are. Don't know. They might not be from this planet, but good to see the Bozos back. The Rainbow Wahines always do well when the Bozos show up at Clum Gym.
Now they're looking for their front row seat. Somebody must have saved them a seat.
Nobody I'd be friendly with, I tell you that. All set up front, and it goes right behind Pullins. So Vicki Pullins, not used to being roofed. She's just crushed by that one. Trishman roofs her, and Pullins watches it land next to her.
Carrie Trishman's becoming a better and better blocker all the time. Look at the beautiful hand movement right there as she blocks the ball down. She got some excellent experience this summer in the Olympic Festival around Oklahoma City, and she showed what she can do right there.
5-1 net violation, but I'll tell you, Jamie Long made a heck of a defensive play, Chris. She's using her body as a block that time, but it was too late. Net violation against the Wahines. 1-5. Long Beach State needs to get back into this match quickly. Assistant coaches Kerry Rush Campbell and Debbie Green Vargas also conferring now more with Jim Alero, trying to get him back in the game. Pullins moves out of the way of Sanders. Romero stuffed. Tara Cross with the dig, but she can't save it. Side out to Hawaii. Chris, the Rainbow Wahines looking very strong.
Wahines not letting the 49ers get back into this game. Every time the 49ers seem to get going, Hawaii answers the call. You see Sherry Boyer's statistics there with 29 kills, 360 assists. She is second only to Sherry Sanders in the Big West right now as far as assists per game go. Those are the two leading setters in the league right now.
We're seeing everything tonight. Thompson, Cross, and Sanders are 1, 2, 3 in aces per game, and T and Tara are 1, 2 in kills per game. And that means that we got the best and the best facing each other in team averages and individual player averages tonight.
And a lot of people think these are the two best teams in the country, despite what the polls say.
That time Sherry Boyer with an attempt on a dig, and it's side out. Long Beach State needs some points. Vicki Pullins going back to serve. So Pullins in the back row now.
That time Antoinette White, instead of trying to power it down the line or around the block, simply went through the seam and got a lucky bounce in the middle of the Hawaii defense. Another standing topspin serve that time from Vicki Pullins.
Ellen Franzen off the block, and it goes out, and it's side out to Hawaii as Romero tries to make the save. Romero falling right into the Bozos. I don't think she knows what planet she just fell into. I'm not kidding. She got up and gave them a look like, what is that? Cheryl Stevens back in for Pullins. Hawaii leading 5-1.
To the 49er defense, they do have some pretty rowdy fans there as well. I believe it's their swimming and water polo team that gets pretty wild and crazy at their home games.
There's a great kill that time. Probably the best of the night from Trissonia Thompson. Had to go around her own player and just drilled it cross court.
Looks to me like Damian Hardy and Brian Papenga, but I'm not positive.
Maybe they're sisters.
They've disguised themselves well. It could be their twins.
Jamie Long goes right through Thompson's block.
Again, Jamie Long doing a beautiful job of hitting the seam between the 5'2" Sanders and the 6'2" Trissonia Thompson. Jamie Long having a field day on the outside right now.
Sanders with a step out move, and that time Hawaii was there. Long and Trishman blocking that one. White going over the top. Boyer said that thing was outside the pole. Referee says no, play on. Boyer short set, Nancy gets it right back. Gary Trishman. So Hawaii wanted the out call, they didn't get it. The pole is moving on our side, doesn't matter now though. Hawaii gets it back, and with that, Long Beach kind of trying to regroup on the floor.
Sherry Boyer that time going to Carrie Trishman. She'd love to go to Carrie, but Carrie's number has not been called that much tonight because she hasn't been needed. The great thing about the Hawaii attack is that it's a multiple hitter attack, whereas Long Beach State tends to rely on White and Cross an awful lot.
Good dig by Mary Robbins on the floor. Carrie Trishman. Smart play by Trishman. They say no. That ball went right off the blocker's hands. Boy, there's no question in my mind that time. Carrie Trishman, a very smart play. but the referee didn't see it, so it becomes moot. And I'm not saying that in criticism of the referee, Chris. I just happened to see one for a change.
Those things just happen. Let's see if we can see a touch here. Right there is a touch by the middle blocker. And those things just happen. That's the way volleyball is. We'll play for 2.5 hours, and you're going to have a few calls like that that don't go your way. Dave showed you did the wise thing that time by getting his team back, ready to serve receive.
Hawaii leading 1-6. Antoinette White serves him off the court and gets an ace serve on that one. Antoinette White makes it 2-6. Long Beach State needs points badly.
I love the way Antoinette White steps back and serves the ball. Really makes it tough to pass for the receiving team.
Well, it's hard to find her back there. There's so much going on. She just winds up and hits it as far as she can. And Jamie Long hits that one as hard as she can. Hawaii gets the side out.
Jamie Long still presenting all kinds of problems for that Long Beach State block right now. Sanders and Sonia Thompson having difficulty stopping Jamie. She's got 10 kills already. She averages about 3 kills a game. She's got 10 already in 2 games.
Tara Cross hits that one up of Mary Robbins' foot.
Mary Robbins better take out some insurance and have Boyer pay for it. Boyer just gives up all kinds of line there, and Cross almost decapitates Boyer.
Sanders, good dive that time, but it lands out. Miscommunication, Pullins and Sanders.
Jamie Long picks up her 11th kill of the night. Dave showed you deciding to leave her in the game. Her serve has been working. I think he's going to keep her in and save Miley Golden for the end of the game. Hope that she can give the Bows a defensive lift at that time.
6-2, Jamie Long. Pumps it in again. Good play by Romero. Tara Cross. Roofed by Carrie Trishman, who's really come alive here in game 2. Her father Don is in the audience tonight. That might be inspiring Carrie a little bit.
Well, I'm sure her father Don is inspiring her, and we've seen her play like this all year. She's in great shape. She's injury-free, and she's having a wonderful time.
Ball lands outside the line. A point to Hawaii. It's 8-2, and Brian Gimolero says timeout. He wants to talk to the 49ers.
Here we see a beautiful set by Sanders that time up to Tara Cross. She goes down the line right at Mary Robbins' knee. And here's the tale of Tara right here. She needs only 50 kills to become the all-time NC2A career kill leader. She also has the most kills in an NC2A match and was Player of the Year last year. We are seeing the best of women's collegiate volleyball here tonight, and it's led by that young lady right there. But T. Williams might have something to say about the tale of Tara.
Well, Tara's going to need some help tonight, or Tara's going to be gone with the wind, because with 8 kills tonight, she needs a little more help from the rest of her teammates.
Well, the two girls are really good friends. They room together, as you said earlier, and they are very friendly, competitive rivals.
White sets it up to Sanders. Sanders tipped off the tape, kept alive by Long, or Boyer rather. T tries to just dump it over the top. Chance now for Long Beach. Romero is roofed up top. Fishman and Boyer with the roof. Crowd coming alive again.
Well, what happened that time was T tips the ball to Sanders, their normal setter, and Tara Cross had to set the ball, and she just plain set the ball a little bit too tight to the net, and Romero had nowhere to go. Hawaii had an easy block for point number 8.
Hawaii leading 8-2. They get the side out, and back to serve is Carrie Trishman, and she goes deep that time. It's set up. Outside, Romero goes cross court. First time we've seen her do anything big like that.
You're right, she's been blocked an awful lot so far tonight, and that time she gets a big kill. I'm sure that will do a lot for her confidence. She goes up and finds the seam, the hole between the two blockers. Mary Robbins did not make it out that time. Remember, it's much easier to stop an offensive attack if you have 2 blockers up, which would be 4 hands, rather than that time Hawaii only had 2 hands up to stop the Long Beach State attack.
2 serving 8. T off the block. Boyer sets it up for Mary Robbins outside. Side out to the Rainbow Wahines.
Opposing coaches say Mary Robbins gives them more fits because she does not have a great leap. The young lady from Waimanalo and University High School goes up and hits the ball on the way down, and because she's so tall and has a great reach, she is very difficult to block.
0.85 digs, by the way, for Mary Robbins. That's her per game average. There's a kill by T. Williams Sanders. It's 9-2 Hawaii.
T. Williams getting a little bit of the funning that the Bozos are doing. She's glad to see him here. I'm sure the girls are always happy to see the Bozos show up. Nice school spirit.
Good save off the net. Trishman goes over.
What happened that time, John, was when Carrie Trishman attacked that ball, she put her foot on the 10-foot line. And when you're a back row player, you cannot attack the ball in front of that 10-foot line. So it was a violation, side out for Long Beach State.
Long Beach State coaches saw it, and the referees saw it, more importantly. So it's still 2 serving 9. Bronson blocked. Chris, Hawaii is just too strong defensively, and Long Beach State cannot put the ball away.
That time, that goes to show what happens if you dig the ball over the net to Hawaii. Watch T. Williams, alert right there, jumps up and pounds it to the floor. In volleyball, it's so important to dig the ball and keep it on your own side of the court. That's why you've got to get very low to the ground, get your arms parallel to the floor, and keep the ball on your own side of the court. Otherwise, it could be deadly if you bump it over to a person like that. T. Williams will collaborate.
T serving at 9-2. Sanders, step out move to Thompson. They've done it a lot tonight. Great defense by Hawaii. Trishman keeps it over, but her foot went about 6 feet under the net. And she knows it. Good save by Carey that time, but in making that save, her foot slipped under the net.
There's a 2-inch line that's directly under the net that a player can have their foot on, but not go all the way under to the opponent's side.
Carey Boyer with a set that time, net violation. That time net violation against Pisonia Thompson. So Long Beach with a couple of unforced errors. 9-2. Long Beach just can't get points.
Remember, it was last game about this time that Long Beach State made a run at Hawaii. Hawaii got stuck at 10 and 11 points.
Pushed that time by Hawaii. Carey Boyer pushed it over. And Chris, I'm noticing that Antoinette White is not trying to kill the ball as much now. She's taking something off it. I think she's been frustrated by the big Hawaii block. She hasn't seen anything like that in 1989.
You're absolutely right. And that Hawaii block got so good, especially I think it really got good when they played the Soviets. And they had to block well to stay in the match against them.
Yeah, I heard about that match. How was that?
It was some of the best volleyball I have ever seen. Two 5-game barn burners.
Great dig that time, Sanders, and a push that time by Antoinette White. So she is getting real tentative here, and it's cost her team that time side out for the Rainbow Wahines.
Antoinette White also played with T. Williams and Tara Cross in the national team this summer. So she is a world-class player who is highly touted by the national team coaches. She did not make the trip to Japan, though, with T and Tara.
That time Sanders sets it over, a miss hit, and guess what? It works out. So Long Beach State not having the best of luck and making some mental errors makes one there. And Hawaii expected them to hit it over. Drops over in the hole, and coming into the game is Steele, and she has her ponytail tied up.
No more nets. There's the knot. Last game she had 2 nets with the hair. I'm sure that was an order from the coaching staff to take care of the ponytail.
Jamie Long pops it over. Carey Trishman had Jamie Long come over and say, move over, little girl. I'm going to knock this one down. Jamie Long just pokes it over. We go back and forth. No scoring the last 5 side outs. Jamie Long waiting for the floor to be wiped up at 9-2. And the coach is letting Jamie serve a lot here in game 2.
I'm going to make a prediction right here that the team that breaks the gridlock right now is going to score a bunch of points. It's not going to be just one. Hawaii's been stuck on 9. Long Beach State's been stuck on 2. Whoever scores next is going to get a bunch, I think.
It's going to be Hawaii as Sanders dives into the Bozos, and it's 10-2. Brian Gimolero calls his second and final timeout of game 2. Hawaii pulling away 10-2. Chris McLaughlin and John Fink back at Plum Gymnasium. Hawaii leading the second game 10-2. They won the first game 15-12. And Chris, Hawaii, a bunch of side outs there. They got a point, and Long Beach had to call another timeout.
Watch for Long Beach to set the ball at Tara Cross this time out of a timeout. They need one desperately. They can't let this game get away from Hawaii. It does go to Cross. She does hit over the block and does get the side out. Brilliant coaching by Gimolero and company.
So McLaughlin calling that one. I don't know why you thought they would go to the NCAA Player of the Year after a timeout. Sherry Sanders back to serve. Long Beach State desperately in need of points. They haven't scored in a long time. They're not going to score here. Diving for that ball. Antoinette White can't get the pancake down. Remember now, Long Beach State's last loss was their last match of last year right here in Clum against Pacific. This year they've reeled off 9 straight regular season wins. And here they are back in Clum against Hawaii. 10-2. Trishman serves. Cross. People bumping into each other. Cross goes up. Romero went to go up, and Cross gets it back for Long Beach State.
A lot of confusion that time on Long Beach State's part, though. They just look a little tentative out there. People are running into each other. They don't look smooth right now. This team is much better, I think, than how they're playing right now.
That time Steele gets it back. Point. Yes, point for Long Beach State. Chris, they do have talented players, but you're very right. They're just not putting it together.
The ball handling's a little tentative, a little shaky right now. And you also get the feeling that there's a mystique about this gym, about the 15-0 series record. And even with all that, though, they've got such great athletes. They've been so highly touted by coaches around the country, by our good friend Chris Marlowe on the mainland, who sometimes has worked for KHNL. He predicted that this team would be 1 or 2 in the country. And
well, 4 returning players as seniors. You think they would have it together. A big stumbling block for a team like this. We've seen it with a lot of teams that start making their move, Chris, is they've got to beat a big-name team like Hawaii or Pacific in a big match.
Well, it will happen, as Texas proved last year. Texas got over the hump by winning the national championship. Long Beach State may get over their hump with Hawaii before this weekend is over.
Sherry Sanders goes outside. Antoinette White off Sherry Boyer. Back to side out for Long Beach State.
They have moments of brilliance, like that one right there, where Antoinette White makes an All-American type move and hits the ball down the line very, very hard. But then they have other times where they hit valleys of confusion and tentativeness.
Can't do that against Hawaii. Ball set way up for Malin Franzen. Up front, and a point for Long Beach, so they start creeping back. It's Sherry Thormalen in the back row now serving.
We see just a quick transition play. This is where Long Beach State excels, with that quick transition play, setting a little short set in the middle. That time to Tresonia Thompson, the transfer from USC. She led her 3 years at USC before switching over to Long Beach State.
That time Jamie Long tried to get out of the way. The only problem was her body didn't respond. It hit her in the arm. It's a point. It's 5-10. They showed you up off the bench. Does not call a timeout. The crowd exhorting the Rainbow Wahines on. Mid-game lull for the Rainbows right now. Thormalen, the sophomore from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, serves it into the net. You know, momentum gets going, they have to wipe up the floor. Could have taken something out of Thormalen's game right there.
Now, internationally, you know, they do not let you wipe up the floor anymore. So that stalling tactic doesn't work in international play. You've got to carry your own towel around in your back pocket.
Do it yourself.
Yep.
Ray Robbins just pops it over. Chance for Long Beach, but they can't get it back. Ball lands into the dead zone, and it's 11-5.
There's an example of this confusion that's really plagued Long Beach considerably tonight. They brought Thormalen into the game, and a new player like that is as good a player as she is. They're not sharp when their substitutes come in and out of the game.
Subbing for T. William Sanders is Laura Phillips, who had some good serves last game. Laura Phillips, back row specialist, and serving now. There's a miss set that time by Long Beach. See if Hawaii can take advantage. Jamie Long is roofed. And Romero looks over the net. Little stink eye from Romero.
Well, she's quite a player. She's a real competitor, and she has not had her way tonight. She's been blocked a lot herself tonight, and that time she gets the better of Jamie Long. I think Jamie Long was used to having Sherry Sanders in that particular spot, and that time Sanders wasn't there. They switched up on her that time. It was Christy Romero.
Romero checks back out, and Sabrina Hernandez comes into the game for the first time, along with Alicia Mills, a freshman from Houston, Texas. Brian Gimolero getting players from all over the country. He has done a heck of a job building up this Long Beach State program. Back in the early 70s, Long Beach State won a couple of national titles in the AIAW. It's been a long dry spell for the Lady 49ers. They hope to be back in the Final Four this year.
Well, Brian Gimmelero's pulled an interesting substitution this time. He's got his all-league setter Sanders on the bench, and he's brought in 6'2" Alicia Mills, freshman from Houston, Texas, whom he says has great potential. She's going to play in the front row now for Sanders, and Sanders' backup, Sabrina Hernandez, will do the setting. Let's see how she fares in a tight situation like this. A freshman substituting for a senior.
11-5, tough set outside, off the block, and White can't handle it. Hawaii has not had any problem solving Antoinette White so far tonight.
She's had her trouble against Hawaii's block. Mary Robbins now serving at 12-5. Hernandez set a beautiful ball that time. It looked like it was blocked, but it really wasn't. Went down on Hawaii's side of the net. It went inside Carrie Trishman and down on Hawaii's side out. Long Beach State, and Antoinette White once again steps back as far as the gym will allow her.
Crowd very quiet on that one. Didn't know if it went in or out. As I said, Long Beach State won 2 national titles in '73 with a split season. They've been in 11 postseason tourneys, but it's been quite some time since they had a team as formidable as this one. Jamie Long takes something off her kill that time and gets it back for Hawaii.
And Brian Gimmelero's got to be kicking himself, thinking, why didn't my substitution work? I put in a 6'2" girl for a 5'2" girl. You think Jamie Long would get stopped, but Jamie Long didn't. She went over the 6'2" blocker.
Tara Cross goes over everybody that time, side out. Coming in is Debbie Steele with the reconstruction of the hair. And back to serve is Trisonia Thompson. Line drive serve, Laura Phillips punches it over. Chance for Hawaii. Sanders outside. Tara Cross tips it over. Campfire time. Nobody's home. Everyone gathers around. And Dave Shoji brings tea back in the game for Laura Phillips.
Many coaches say that Tara Cross is the best dinker in the country. And she showed why just then. She goes up and tips the ball right here into the middle of the Hawaii defense. She seems to know when the defense is playing back on her, and she'll tip it short. And when they come up close, she bangs away at the back row.
Good dig that time by the big 6'2" Mills. And Hawaii gets it out. It's 7-12. So Hawaii with that mid-game lull again. And Hawaii calls a timeout. They don't like it. They had Long Beach with only 2 points. 49ers now have Sin Gray. Now you see what it looks like when you take a look at Hawaii's opponents this year. That's Hawaii's opponents, the teams in white. Look at that, Chris. They play 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. A rough schedule for Hawaii, but that's what makes them a great team. You got to beat those teams. They're playing one of them right now. It's 7-12. Long Beach serving, and just what you want to do. What the doctor ordered is a side out for the Rainbow Wahines. Trishman gets it back.
Carrie Trishman hitting well over 350 for this year, and Sherry Boyer feeling very comfortable going to her. And after a timeout, that's a big credit to both Carrie and the coaching staff for having the confidence that she can pull them out of the mini slump they were having there in the middle of game 2.
Jamie Long back to serve. Good serve, good play, Long Beach. That time the 6'2" Mills tips it over. Alicia Mills from Houston could have stayed in hometown, Chris. I'm sure she was recruited by Texas. Mick Haley must have seen her. But she comes all the way up to Long Beach.
She was in 1988, she was the Texas high jump champion. She's actually a left-hander. That time she tipped that one over right-handed. So she did throw Hawaii for a loop there, though, and she got a kill. It gave Long Beach State a side out and a chance to creep back into this game. And now Sanders comes back into the game, and so does Romero, the double substitution by Brian Gimmolero and company.
I haven't seen much of Pullins here in game number 2. The big middle blocker has not seen much action. 7-12. T tips it over the top. Cross. They can't make the play. Side out. The double threat of T. You go up to block it. She's smart like Tara Cross. Puts it over the top.
T has a dink she'd like to take back, though, and that was the one that she had against the Soviets in the first night they played them 2 weeks ago. When she tipped the ball at match point, and I know that afterwards she really wanted to go up and bang that one. That time her tip worked, and they got the serve back at 12-7.
T with 19 kills on the night as Jamie Payette checks in for the first time. Great server and back row specialist. T gets kill number 20. Hawaii makes it 2 points away from game number 2 victory. T is now in second place all-time on the UH career list, ahead of Tita Ahuna with 1,412 career kills. She needs to get 1,554 to break the all-time record of Suzanne Egge. She will probably get that in about, well, the way she's going tonight, she may get it by tomorrow night.
Remember, Egge did it in 4 years. T's going to do it in 3.
And she's going to do it probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Outside to T, and there's kill number 21, 14-7. Long Beach State 1 point away from extinction in game 2. Hawaii has doubled the 49ers.
It's hard to get this many kills in practice. There she goes over the Long Beach State block. That's no small Long Beach State block. It's a 5'11" cross and a 6'2" Debbie Steele. That's a big block that T's going over right there. Her national team play, I can't help but think that it helped her tremendously this summer. And now we have Hawaii serving for game number 2. T has been on fire.
This Rainbow team has not been fazed by any competition we've seen this year. UCLA, defending champion Texas, or the highly touted 49ers. And right now looking very strong as Payette serves for game 2. The crowd might carry us out here if Hawaii can get this. Cross is blocked. Sanders dinks it over, but there's T. Back and forth we go. Good defense. T. Romero. Sanders. Game 2, Hawaii. As the Wahines relax between games 2 and 3. Hawaii winning the first 2 games 15-12, 15-7. Tonight's winner of the KHNL Fun Factory Dairy Queen Junior Sportscaster Contest is 13-year-old Jolene Nagata from Hilo Intermediate. Jolene wants to know, what is a utility player? Good question, Jolene. Chris McLaughlin will be back with the answer right after this break. The answer to tonight's question, what is a utility player? Chris McLaughlin, what is a utility player?
It's that guy in, I think it's like the guy in Monopoly that buys up the Board of Water Supply and Electric Company. Isn't that a utility player?
Wrong volleyball breath. Utility player is a guy like Jose Oquendo, who's a major leaguer for the St. Louis Cardinals, who can play numerous positions and can come on the court in various phases. In volleyball, of course, we have utility players who can come in to block up front and maybe serve once in a while. It's a player who can come off the bench and fill in for a number of different positions. That is tonight's answer. And by the way, remember, if you're under 18 and want to become an official junior sportscaster, pick up an entry blank at participating Dairy Queen stores and Fun Factory family entertainment centers in Hawaii. Hawaii getting off right where they left off in game 2, Chris. A tremendous hitting percentage for the Rainbow Wahines in that second game. And we'll show that statistic in a minute. Hawaii serving, leading 1-0 in game number 3. T right through the block. Side out to Long Beach.
T fell into the net that time and committed a net error, and Long Beach State gets a side out, but the statistics are just unbelievable. Almost the same number of attempts, but look at Hawaii, 8 more kills and 5 fewer errors, hitting .511. That is just tremendous against this good of a Long Beach State team.
Sherry Boyer tried another infrequent dump. That time it was put right back and it was lifted by T, so it's 1-1. Long Beach State needs to score some points, get their confidence going. This is a much better team, as we've indicated, than we have seen so far tonight. And a rare miss there by T. So T, in the course of about 3 points here, having gone into the net, lifting a ball, and then whipping on one, has made more errors than she probably did for the first 2 games. 2-1, Long Beach State leading. T, how long can you keep her down? Not very long.
Well, T really did not get, in fairness to her, not get the sets she really likes to hit. This one is a set she likes to hit. It's about 3 feet off the net, and it gives her a chance to take a full swing at the ball, whereas the other sets were either too far out of the court or too close to the net.
Tara Cross off Sherry Boyer, and it goes over to Long Beach State. Want to remind everyone at the conclusion of tonight's match, Chris and I are going to select the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow. Hawaiian Tel will present $100 to the General Scholarship Fund of UH in the name of that player who went beyond the call. 2-1 Long Beach State. Mary Robbins is roofed up front. Pullins back in game 3. A big lineup in for Long Beach, trying to shake things up. Jim Malero trying to get the team going, and the cheerleaders are out on the Long Beach State side as the subs are out there clapping in unison. Doesn't help Tara Cross. She lofts one into the net on the serve.
I believe that's Pullins' first block of the night. She led their team all of last year in blocks, and so far tonight she's been very quiet until that last block.
Sanders outside. White, T, puts it over. Nice athletic move. Tara Cross. Crowd thought it was a lift, and the ball lands out anyway. Hawaii back to serve at 2-3. Sherry Boyer getting the point on that one. Took a long time for Long Beach to get to point number 3 in the last game. They've already got 3 here, and there's White stuffed again on the roof. They go right back to her. She calls for it and puts it inside the court. Nice hit that time. 3-2 Long Beach.
Antoinette White still swinging away despite having an awful lot of trouble with the Hawaii defense, especially with the Hawaii block tonight.
Long Beach State has lost more games tonight than they have all year thus far. They've lost 1 game coming into this match, but they hadn't seen T yet. Jamie Long checks in for Miley Golden, and checking in is Romero. Romero will come in to replace Antoinette White, or actually Pullins is going to come out.
You get the feeling that T is playing not only because the game is important against a very good Long Beach State team, but because they're from Long Beach. Remember, T is from Long Beach. She knows a lot of these girls. She's roomed with Tara Cross. She's played against these girls in high school, so there's a little bit more riding on it when you have that kind of friendship, that kind of rivalry going, and T has certainly answered the call tonight with 23 kills. In just
ball.
a little over 2 games.
Ball hit long, and the serve goes long. So Long Beach, the door opens up, and they shut it on their foot. Mary Robbins to serve for Hawaii. Lazy floater comes over. Good step out. Familiar move. We've seen that quite a bit tonight from Thompson. Jamie Long kept alive, and Sanders that time. Chris, I think she might have had a chance if she just tried to pop it over. Instead, she tried to hit a little bit too hard and misplayed it. And it's 3-3.
She doesn't hit the ball over that often. She more is a distributor of sets. She rarely will dump the ball. But she gives beautiful sets like that an awful lot. That's what made her the assist leader in the nation last year. Speaking of assists, Sherry, how about that set from Boyer to Trishman?
Trishman just dumping it over.
There's a beautiful timing between those two. Sherry totally faked out the center blocker, Tresonia Thompson, that time, and Carey had no one up to contest her. And that's an ideal hitting situation. The setter's really done their job if they give you a set that fakes out the other team's block.
4-3 Hawaii. Trishman, good save by Tara Cross on the dig. White roofed again. They go outside to White again, and she's blocked. They do it again. This one way outside. She'll never see that one. That baby lands up in the 3rd row, and that time, White just too much Hawaii.
Mullen, Franson, and Jamie Long just doing a beautiful job of blocking our Trishman and Mullen out there on the outside. Antoinette White getting blocked twice in a row. Right here again, she gets blocked. She must feel like she's in a closet.
That time, Antoinette was whitewashed as Hawaii just killed her on 2 attempted kills. And the 3rd time they tried to set it to her, they put it up in the crowd. They go back to her again, and she's roofed again. Not a good set. Had to hit it lefty.
That time Sanders just trapped her. White just had difficulty with that set. The greatest player in the country couldn't have hit that ball over the net.
But Chris, they went to her 4 times in a row now. It's not working.
Well, watch for it to go to someone else. It goes to White again, but it goes to her in the middle that time. They moved her position on the court. But boy, they're really having trouble right now with Tara Cross in the back row. Antoinette White, who plays opposite Cross, has got to get the job done in the front of Long Beach State to stay in this match.
That time she hits it out. This time the serve goes right to her. Step out move, which they've done quite a bit. That's been an effective play for Thompson. His quick feet as she gets behind the setter.
It took too long for Thompson to see that ball, though. You're absolutely correct, John. Here she gets the step out move. She's a tremendous athlete from USC. Transferred after 3 years there, sat out a year, and now is playing for Long Beach State. That time she didn't see the ball until the 6th set. I'm sure Jim Alero will have something to say to Sanders about her selection during that last series.
Antoinette White with the big serve. Outside Jamie Long off the block. Deflected by Tara Cross. Give Long a kill. So Long Beach had 3-1 lead. They trail now. Hawaii 7-3. Jamie Long with 16 kills on the evening. Hawaii trying to put away the 49ers in 3.
Hawaii very businesslike. Long really doing a nice job of keeping the ball in play, hitting smart shots, trying to hit the seam in the block.
Tara Cross with a tough set, just has to dink it over, and a chance for Boyer. Trishman is roofed. Great defense by Boyer. Trishman over the block and gets the point. Smart play by Trishman. Chris, she'd been roofed. This time the blockers went up, said try it again, and Carey puts it over the top for the point.
She has been such a high percentage player for the Bows. She keeps almost every ball that she sets, she keeps in play. You rarely see her hit a ball out. She won't get a lot of sets, but the sets she does get, she does a great job with.
9-3, the back set, Tara Cross, good athletic move to get the side out. Actually, 3-8. Pullins checking back in for Romero.
The game changes complexion ever so much when Tara Cross gets back to the front row. It gives Long Beach State an entirely different offensive look.
Need Pullins to make some blocks for Long Beach to get back into this. Jamie Long outside off the block. It lands out. Good thinking, court presence. Jamie Long lets it bounce outside the line. Long Beach State cannot buy a point. It's 8-3 Hawaii. Sanders. There's the step out. Blocked. T. Cross court. Good play by White. We'll go to White in the back row. Robbins, Boyer, Trishman off the block. Kept alive. Sanders tips it over and out. And there's an example of a short player trying to do a little bit too much. Sanders Chris trying to avoid the block, and she hits it outside the line.
Even with her 36-inch jump, that time she could not get up and really get a good approach on the ball. Here's an excellent save. Sanders tries to hit Sherry Boyer's right hand right there. Try to get a piece of it, but Sherry would take none of the tomfoolery there, and she pulls her hand out of the way. Hawaii gets the side out.
And with that, for the first time tonight, Sabrina Hernandez, the freshman backup setter, comes in. We've seen her before, but she comes in now to set up front. She came in to serve last time. Big serve again by Jamie Long. Crowd loves it. Carrie Trishman leaping up and just flopping over the net. Tara Cross just kills that one. We saw this last year when they lost to Pacific. Every once in a while, Tara Cross will just make a phenomenal kill, Chris.
And there it is right there. She hits right in the hole in the block. Beautiful set from Sabrina Hernandez, the 5'7" freshman from Brian Gimalero's old high school, Gar High School in Cerritos, California. He's got 2 or 3 players on his team from that high school that has won a couple of state championships.
Step out move to Trishman, something the Rainbows haven't shown much tonight. But they do like Carey making that outside move.
Hawaii's offense is not as fast as Long Beach State's overall, but their players get the steady best sets that they can hit, and it's a very consistent high percentage offense.
Good serve by Trishman, outside set. Jamie Long, Boyer outside for T, off the block, Trishman. It's T, T wasn't ready for that block. Side out, Long Beach State still stuck on 3.
T dropped her arm just a little bit that time and hit the ball right into the block. Here we see a substitution this time. Tony Nishida coming into the game for Mary Robbins. Mary Robbins won all rehabilitation player of the year this last summer for rehabbing on that knee reconstruction every day of the summer.
Tony Nishida in. T. Williams outside, ball lands outside of the line.
By the way, as a footnote to Mary Robbins, who just left the game, we should give congratulations to Danielle Robbins for having made the junior national team. That's the top 17 and unders in our country. They may end up playing those same Soviets that were here down in Brazil for the Junior World Championships. Congratulations to Danielle and, of course, Nani and Bobby, the proud parents.
Quite a deserved honor there. Net violation that time against number 7. That's Antoinette White. Hawaii pulling ahead now. 10-3. Brian Gimalero says, timeout. I got to talk to my troops. And, happy Don Trishman, Carrie Trishman's dad. She said hi, Dad, at the beginning. There's Carrie. On the floor, Hawaii in double figures, that all-important momentum builder. Not that the Rainbow Wahinis needed any momentum the way they're playing tonight, Chris. Very tough for the 49ers to come back now at 10-3 in game number 3.
Hawaii has simply not let up on the 49ers. They haven't let them get any kind of momentum going at all.
Excellent defense for the Rainbow Wahines as Long Beach State keeps getting stuck on the low digits, 2 and 3, and they can't seem to build on it. And Gimalero off of the bench again, talking to his team. Sherry Boyer serving. 11-3 Hawaii. We look from the back. Watch how the players move. Ace serve that time, 12-3.
Excellent serve by Sherry Boyer that time, drilling the ball down the line. The 49ers are in a different passing pattern now. They've had all kinds of trouble passing so far. Remember, that's their Achilles heel, is their passing. Let's see how Hawaii attacks it again. It's down the line again, serving to White.
Hawaii players moving all over. Long Beach moving. White goes down the line. It lands out.
Good eye by Boyer. She could have taken it that time. She chose to let it go. And White again having some trouble here in that front left position.
And Jim Alero calls his final timeout of game 3. Will it be his last timeout of the evening? He needs a big rally to come back.
Would all coaches love to score points like this all the time, as we see Sherry Boyer serving the big ace down the line. You saw the knuckleball break to Antoinette White's left. She didn't adjust in time, and Hawaii picks up an easy point.
You also got a chance to see the angle. The coaches like to watch films of the game where they can watch defenses break and see the movement of players from behind the court. We know from a fan's perspective, sometimes it's better to watch it from the mid-court 50-yard line like we show you here at KHNL. T. Williams, good dig in the back that time. Mary Robbins, Tony Nishida actually is blocked up front by Pullins. That time it lands outside the line, side out. Long Beach State trying to stay alive at 3:13.
Malin Franzen with a rare error. The cool Swede rarely hits the ball out. That time she just tried it. She actually had a good approach and tried to hit the ball down the line and just barely missed it. Very calm and cool. She's been a wonderful new dimension to this team, taking Anna Furberg's place.
Long Beach State has gotten themselves in huge holes the first 2 games, and when they do start coming back, it's just too little too late. We'll see what they can do here in game 3. Well, they serve it out as Vicky Pullins, not known for being the back row, and now she comes out of the back row after serving it out.
Well, she does have an excellent serve, and she led the team in blocks and aces in 1988. And in her place comes Christine Romero, an excellent back row specialist, as T. Williams comes out and gets some high fives.
Jamie Payette, senior replacing senior, into serve outside to White. Off the block, kept alive by Franzen. Malin Franzen pops it up in the middle. Sanders, short set. And that time, putting it down is Tresonia Thompson. It goes back over to the 49ers. You see Tony Nishida, pride of Pearl City. Floater, Trishman, tough set for Boyer. She pops it up in the middle. Both teams going at it. Net violation that time up front on Tresonia Thompson.
Excellent call that time by both referee Zabriskie and umpire Ralph Smith.
Outside they go to White. This time she's blocked again. They've been blocking her out there all game long, but trying to tip it over. They can't do it. Hawaii with a tough set that time and a side out for Long Beach. 3:13. Long Beach and Antoinette White way deep in Clum Gym. Good crowd on hand tonight. About 1,800. Here's Jamie Long from the outside. She goes right off of Sanders. Almost knocks Sanders over with that block attempt.
I asked Dave Shoji before the game what he wanted out of Jamie Long. I said, I'd like to see Jamie hit a few seam shots like that one right there. Right between Sanders and the middle blocker.
Tara Cross that time goes through the block. Side out for Long Beach, and Pullins comes back in for Romero. So Long Beach has held Hawaii at bay after the timeout they called, but they have not been able to score.
Well, their best chance to score is when Tara Cross is in the front row, and she is right now. So we'll see what happens as Tresonia Thompson tries to launch a Long Beach State comeback. Down 10 points here in game number 3.
Payette to Boyer, step out move, Trishman. Good dig by White. Tara Cross just pops it up, Nishida. Boyer long. Sanders goes outside. Tara Cross is blocked. Hawaii, good defense up front. Jamie Long mishit that one. Pullins has to duck for Sanders. Good defense that time.
Nishida just reaches back and wings it over like a highlight player. Loop up front, and Hawaii gets the side out, and the place is up for grabs. Great rally, Chris McLaughlin.
Oh, that was the best rally of the night. It's got the Bozos up. It's got the Boz bench up. The fans are standing here in Clum Gym as we saw a tremendous rally. There's a diving save by Tony Nishida. A leaping, diving save by Boyer, and another slap over by Nishida, only to have the final play end up with a bow block. What a wild affair that was.
Tony Nishida looked like a highlight player, reaching back like she had, I forget what that thing is called, not the pelota, but whatever, and just reaching over, knocks it over the net. Of course, most of you probably don't know what highlight is, so what's the difference? Tara Cross silences the crowd. Well, Chris, Tarracross has really come on strong here toward the end of game 3. They're going to need a lot more of that if they're going to get back in it tonight. And certainly, of course, remember, tomorrow night, we'll be here at 7 o'clock for the second matchup. And then Saturday night, the big one with the football bows against New Mexico, 10:35. Jim Leahy and Rick Blangiardi calling all the action from Aloha Stadium.
I must say that even though this third game here is a runaway, and even though Hawaii leads 2-0, we've been treated to some really outstanding volleyball tonight by two excellent teams. Long Beach State hasn't played as well as they would like to have, and that young lady right there, T. William Sanders, has played better than usual. If it's possible, play better than being #1 in the country. Or
what's really showing tonight is the defense of Hawaii, not allowing the big kill artists for Long Beach State to put almost any balls down. Antoinette White, we can been saying all night, has been blocked. Thompson has been blocked quite a bit. And the big player in the middle, Vicky Pullins, has not been blocking as much as she would probably like to for Long Beach State. Oh, tough set that time. Sanders mishandles it, 14-3. Aloha ball. Laura Phillips coming in and doing the job on the serve.
now what's becoming a tradition here in Clum Gym, everybody stands up for match point.
Laura Phillips puts it down the line and out. Taking the wind out of their sails as 1,800 people, like a balloon, just was let out. All sit down.
While you were gone, we went through this 8 times during the Soviet match the first night, and it was really something to
T outside, puts it down again. T approaching 30 kills on the evening. She has had a career night tonight against a good Long Beach State team. Sherry Boyer now will try to wrap things up for the Rainbow Wahines.
Match point #2. Boyer, an excellent server. Down the line again.
Sanders outside to White. Laura Phillips can't make the dig. Side out, Long Beach State. Into the game, Romero comes in for Pullins in the back row. And she'll come in to serve. Last time they didn't take her out, Pullins served one into the net, and then Romero came in. Long Beach State has been stuck on 3 for a long time. They're going to stay there as Tony Nishida puts it down. Jamie Payette will come back in one more time for T. Williams. Miley Golden coming out also. Checking back in is Jamie Long. So Hawaii getting some fresh bodies onto the floor. 14-3, match point again. The crowd on their feet will do it again. Third chance for Hawaii to win it. Good server, Jamie Payette, looking over to the side.
Now appropriate, one co-captain in for the other. This might be it right here.
Bronson kept alive, good dig by Cross. Here's White outside, off the block. Nishida saves it. Kept alive, Jamie Long goes into the net. Jamie Long, look, as soon as she missed that, she looked right over to the coach. She knew she'd missed it. She didn't have to look over to the coach. She just whiffed. The ball hit in the net. Long Beach State going to serve after the crew wipes up a very wet Clum Gym floor. #1 against #4. Hawaii against Long Beach State. We'll do it again tomorrow night. 4 hits that time on Hawaii's side. Point to Long Beach. It's been a long time coming. 4-14. Remember, Long Beach led this game 3-1. Payette up front, Boyer. Bronson with a short set. Puts it down, side out to Hawaii. Chance to end it now. Kerry Trishman comes back in for Laura Phillips.
Hawaii's arsenal is so versatile. Whether it's Bronson or Trishman or Jamie Long or whether it's T with 26 kills, they just have so much firepower. It's amazing. Tony Nishida has Hawaii's 4th chance at match point.
Nishida, Romero up front, Sanders to White outside, and she gets it down, and that is not what she's been doing all night, Chris McLaughlin. She has been roofed repeatedly, and that time she does what she does best and puts it right through the block.
She's had her share of trouble, 11 kills in 3 games. She's about at her average, but she's also got an awful lot of errors, an awful lot of balls that are blocked back in her face tonight.
Jamie Long puts it down again. So now back to serve for the 5th time. Hawaii has a chance to wrap it up. Malin Franzen, we're going through all the serving rotations. Everybody on their feet. Franzen serving. Sanders dinks it over. Boyer dinks it back. White, Sanders, cross, roof, and Hawaii wins it 15-4. No real surprise tonight. Our GTE Hawaiian Tel most valuable rainbow for tonight's match is T. William Sanders. Hawaiian Tel pleased to contribute $100 to the General Scholarship Fund of UH in the name of T. William Sanders. GTE Hawaiian Tel and T. William Sanders beyond the call. T, tremendous kill percentage. 548 with 27 kills tonight. And good defense as always with 5 digs and 6 blocks. And Chris McLaughlin and I will be back in just a moment to set the stage for tomorrow night's rematch. John Fink back at Plum Gymnasium along with Chris McLaughlin. And Chris, Hawaii now leads the series 16-0. I don't think it's so much of a jinx that Long Beach State can't beat Hawaii.